What's up, guys? It's Blackwing 2040, and welcome back to another episode of Retro Throwback. And this episode of Retro Throwback, we are going to be covering one of my all-time favorite Nickelodeon shows of all time. And of course, this is the first Nickelodeon show I'm ever talking about, if I'm correct. Yes, it is. We are going to be talking about Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. And I just want to know, of all shows, they canceled this show off, yet they still have Very Odd Parents and SpongeBob still going. No disrespect to Very Odd Parents. Very Odd Parents was good, but it's falling off. It's falling off the lid a little. But anyway, so Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. Oh man, I remember like it was yesterday. I remember when I was like 3 years old. I was watching, you guys, when you were watching those Nickelodeon VHS tapes, and then you saw that little teaser trailer for Jimmy Neutron, and to be honest, Jimmy Neutron was actually the second movie I saw in my life. Can you believe I remember that? I got a big memory. And it turns out the first movie I saw in theaters was Monsters, Inc. So, yeah, I got a strong memory. I got a real deep memory, guys. But anyway, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. I fell in love with that show. It was amazing. The movie was amazing. I could pretty much do the entire movie by heart. I pretty much think I can. And it had such a funny amount of characters. The comedy was golden in that show. And there were some really dope moments. And of course, we got the most epic TV crossover in history, the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. Bam! If it wasn't for Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents, of course, we would never have one of the most dopest TV crossovers in history. So anyway, pretty much the franchise of Jimmy Neutron started with the movie, and then from there worked on to the TV show. But everything is still connected. So of course you got your main characters, the main hero himself, Jimmy Neutron, or by his parents called him James Isaac Neutron. And, of course, his trusty little robot pet dog, Goddard. Now, I feel like in cartoons, they always have loyal dogs. Or they have very special... Goddard's like that pet dog you want to have. Think of him like he really is a best friend for you. Like, throughout history, we had multiple kinds of loyal pet dogs. Snoopy from the Peanuts, Pork Chop from Doug, and now we got Goddard, who's a robot dog for that matter. And Goddard, he's a really intelligent dog. And, of course, he explodes every time you tell him to play dead. Because, hey, he's loyal. And, plus, he's a really good companion. I would definitely want to have Goddard as a pet. Because, one, you don't really have to clean up after him that much. Because he's a robot dog. What else is he going to do? He eats metal. And, plus, he has multiple modes of transportation. So, I really would love to, have Goddard as a mode of transportation to get me anywhere. Because if I'm running late, I'm like, Goddard, fly cycle. Feeling like, boom, we're there. I'm like, I love Goddard. And so in the next amount of characters, you have his parents, Judy Neutron and Hugh Neutron. What I never understood about Jimmy's dad was, what was his obsession with ducks? Like, did they ever explain that in the show? Because I'm pretty sure they really didn't. Because every time you would see him, he was either always holding like a duck figurine in his hand. I'm like, what's this guy's deal with ducks? And sometimes he can be smart, and some moments he's just being silly. Jimmy's mother, on the other hand, she's like the iron fist of the household, and she's a very good mother. And of course, she disciplines Jimmy. I mean, she does what a mother does. Now, on to Jimmy's friends. Two of his best friends, actually, Carl Weezer, who has a huge obsession with llamas. I never understood his obsession with llamas. Like, jeez. But if Carl loves llamas, and apparently he has a crush on Jimmy's mother. If my best friend had a crush on my mom, I'm gonna be like, dude, we're not friends anymore. Please go back to your house. Please, you can't stay here. Bye, goodbye. Cause I find that kind of creepy. Your best friend having a crush on your mom. I don't think Jimmy even noticed that. Anyway, I don't even think he cared. All right, Jimmy's other best friend, Sheen Estevez. Everyone of course calls him Sheen. And Sheen isn't really. Sheen definitely has his funny moments, especially when he's just yapping about Ultralord and every single figurine of Ultralord that he had, and recapping what moment Ultralord did in this particular episode, and episode whatever. Sheen was hilarious. And my funny Sheen moment was in the movie after he got like his favorite Ultra mask from that Ultralord dress up guy at the Retroland. When they were coming back home from the alien planet, he was like, Ultralord is not afraid of chickens. He is not afraid. Okay, maybe a little bit afraid of chickens. Oh man, Sheen cracked me up. And of course, sooner or later, Sheen had his own TV show called Planet Sheen, but it didn't last that long. A lot of shows are not lasting that long these days. But anyway, on to some more characters. You have Cindy Vortex, who's pretty much the pain in Jimmy's side, but in reality, we all know Jimmy and Cindy were gonna end up together through the constant bickering that they had with each other, to the flirtatious moments that you may notice. We all knew that Jimmy and Cindy were gonna end up together. Cindy likes to prove that she's more smarter than Jimmy, but somehow she knows Jimmy is smarter than her, because Jimmy is like, he is science golden. I mean, Jimmy knows pretty much. Jimmy's the smart guy of the entire show. He's quoted a lot of Einstein's theories. He created some spectacular inventions. Some of Jimmy's vehicles I wish I could have, like that rocket that he has. That's my favorite thing that he owns. And don't get me wrong, the hover car is really good. The hover car is a really good way of getting around, but I want that rocket of his. And now we go to Cindy, to her best friend, Libby, who is actually Sheen's girlfriend. Libby and Sheen's relationship, it was building throughout the series, which was good, because we kind of figured a little bit that Libby had a crush on or Sheen had a crush on Libby. And it was so cute to see them together, because I felt like Sheen's a little bit of stupidness fits with her smart personality. I feel like they're a perfect match with each other. And I don't think they ever kissed in the show, but who cares? They were so perfect for each other, and I just love that about them. And of course, some other characters. You had Nick, who's like the bad boy of the show. I don't know what Cindy saw in him when instead she was like, forget Nick, I want Jimmy. Because Nick, he was like the jerk of the entire franchise. I mean, of the entire show. I mean, sometimes he would, like what Jimmy does, and then for the rest of the series, you were like, yeah, forget it, Neutron. I'm like, geez, Nick, jealous much? So those are like, oh, I almost forgot about their teacher, Miss Fowl, who pretty much, she sounds like a parrot. She always like squawks every time she speaks. It was just like weird, like, I'm like, is this woman half parrot or something? But because she sounds a little bit of weirdness. And oh my gosh, I know I forgot about a funny character everyone loves, Bulby. If you guys don't remember Bulby, slap, 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 clap, 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 slap, 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 clap, clap, clap. I'm like, who is this character? In case you guys didn't notice, Phil Lamar actually did the voice of Bulby, and that actually shocked me to my surprise. I'm like, Phil Lamar did the voice of Bulby? That is just hilarious. And Bulby is just that weird person that you don't want to be friends with, but he's just weird in all points of all. But yeah, so we talked about the good characters. Of course, Jimmy had his own pair of villains in the show. He had a lot. You had the Junkman. You had the Yokians, King Goobot and Ooblar. That's a funny name, Ooblar. Oh my gosh. I can tell you one thing. The episode where the Yokians came back, I was like, how did they survive? Didn't the last time all of y'all were cracked already? And then that episode actually was probably one of the best. It's one of the best Jimmy Neutron episodes, by the way. Jimmy Neutron has a whole bunch of other special episodes, like the Jet Fusion episode, which was awesome, by the way. That was a really good one. And there were some other ones. I may have forgotten. Oh, there was this one episode where Jet Fusion was gonna get married to Beautiful Gorgeous. Jet Fusion was a dope character though. Think of it as like it's kind of like Jimmy Neutron meets James Bond. Pretty much that's pretty much what it was. And so back to the villains. Yeah, you had the Yokians. You had Professor Calamitous, the guy who just makes things and just never finishes them. I feel like he's a little bit of an excuse for a villain, because how are you gonna make inventions but never finish them, and then you're gonna try to use them to defeat Jimmy Neutron, and yet they always fail? I never understood that about him. And of course, Beautiful Gorgeous, of course. I think yeah, Professor Calamitous is her father. And there was this moment in the Jet Fusion episode. She was always asking, "Does anybody care what I want?" And everyone would just say no. No one cares what she wants. What she wants anyway. And yeah, to be honest, I don't care either. So other villains, there's not really other major villains. I mean, you got Professor Calamitous. You had the Yokians. You have I mean, there's other villains in the show. I just can't remember them at the top of my head. Of course, you got the Junk Man, of course. I think he only appeared like 1 or 2 episodes. And you had those 3 alien guys that were that almost tried to kill Jimmy and his friends when they went hunting for Astro Rubies. And I think that's just about it. Actually, yeah. I think that does it for the villains. I mean, it's to be honest, Jimmy Neutron was one of my all-time favorite Nickelodeon shows. And it still is my #1 favorite Nickelodeon show, by the way. And I wish it could have gone on forever, like how Fairy Odd Parents is going on for like 10 seasons now. But, all things must, come to an end. And I miss that show a lot. But I always got the movie, so the movie could always keep me entertained with anything Jimmy Neutron. And as always, guys, we end with the theme song of the particular TV show. Here we go with the theme song of Jimmy Neutron. Of course, it's very, very short. It's like 30 seconds short. So, let's do this, guys.
3, 2, 1. To the stars, go buy candy bars, rides a kid with a knack for invention. With superpowered mind, a mechanical canine rescues the day from sure destruction. This is the theme song for Jimmy Neutron.
That little, tidbit where Goddard just runs and Jimmy's just holding him. Oh, man. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Retro Throwback. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I mean, I tell you guys, Retro Throwback is pretty much my favorite thing I'm doing on this channel, because we got a long list of TV shows we can go through. A long list. So, the next episode of Retro Throwback, I'm going to be talking about another great Cartoon Network classic, Dexter's Laboratory. I know some people have been wanting me to talk about Dexter's Laboratory for a long, long time. So that's going to be the next throwback. So in the comment section below, tell me your favorite moment of Jimmy Neutron, or what was your favorite thing about Jimmy Neutron in general. All right. So tell me that in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, I am vengeance. I am darkness. I am Black Wayne. Stay golden.